All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the DFS 5-pack once again. Never hesitate to subscribe to the station if you're brand new here. Click the bell for notifications. And, of course, if you slide your finger under the thumbs up button, nobody over here is going to mind in the slightest.
Not at all.
So we did members-only video for the public earlier again today. Hopefully you guys appreciated that one. This is going to be a little bit more of our traditional type of video. Our top plays overall for the day. Wish everybody the best of luck tonight. It is the preseason, so get funky with it. We're going to dive into some of our favorite overall plays on the day. Obviously, we got a couple of things to bring up before that. Go give a little look-see at our boys over at overlaydfs.com, guys. I cannot talk about the matchup shop anymore without wondering why you wouldn't be playing on it yet. And if you finally dive in today, screenshot that first deposit, send it to me so I can get you a free membership to the 5-pack. The matchup shop is simply choosing between one player or the other. You're going to have some point differentials. It's fun. It really gives you the ability to choose your favorite person and just go big on that one. Or if you like to go a little bit nuts like my boy Bellman over here, you can parlay the hell out of it.
Amen.
All right, guys. As far as the current 5-pack promotions we are running, everybody who's signed up the last couple days sees this. You buy a monthly membership, you get half of your first month back, and I will send it to you within 24 hours and reasonably, probably more than 24 minutes. Otherwise, the NBA only package. I don't know how else to say only to describe only. It's just NBA, but it's the full season, preseason, regular season, postseason, a one-time $75 payment. You can pay that via the Venmo or PayPal address below. This is a little bit of what a daily write-up looks like, where we take our 5 favorite guys for cash in per GPP, break them down. And then very exciting stuff. I was talking to Matt about this yesterday, and we're going to go with a slightly new format on the main show this year. And we're going to start with that today. I'm going to go through my favorite cash guy. We're going to go through your favorite GPP guy to talk about. Then we're going to have a little mishmash, one of our mutual favorites. Then we're going to do Matt's long, or, actually I think I have my long shot, but your long shot of the day. So there will be 5 picks this year instead of 4. But instead of giving away the farm to save something for our paying customers, we're going to throw some long shots in here and try and get off the beaten path of what everybody else talks about.
I'm excited, man. Let's get it.
All right, guys. Everything else is available with the membership. So let's start with a guy that you all know I like, and that is my guy, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I'm going to start with something that I tweeted out earlier today to give you guys a little bit of a preview. Last year in the preseason, Giannis averaged 27, 12, 3, 1, and 1 in 23 minutes. 2 years ago, he averaged 24, 12, 6, 2, and 1 in 25 minutes. I'm just saying those are some pretty good scores. He is my cash game lock today. I know a lot of people are off of Giannis overall a little bit because of the postseason, but preseason is the antithesis to the postseason. There isn't a lot of walling off the defense right here. He should be able to have what he wants as well. There's no Porzingis tonight. Dunks, dunks, and dunks, baby. I think Giannis has himself a night. If I had to bet one guy to be the overall highest scoring player on the slate tonight, this would be my guy.
Yeah, it's not hard to fit him at all, with so much cheap value we like. Man, we always talk about Giannis off a loss, and it's been a while, but he is off a loss here.
He's off a lot of losses, unfortunately. But yes, he is. It's been a while, but he was off of a bunch of losses courtesy of Miami.
Yes, he was. So I think he comes out on a mission, and for no better night than tonight.
Yeah, and the thing about Giannis, and this is something that you brought up repeatedly, nobody can throw up 50 points quicker than him. He just comes out, he grabs those rebounds. Brook Lopez, and one of the reasons Giannis is a great rebounder is Brook Lopez is not your typical big man as far as securing boards. He is more of a box-out guy. It's the way he's always played. He does a great job. Every team with Brook Lopez rebounds well. You just don't see the numbers on him. Instead, he's boxing out and giving Giannis like 14 boards in like 14 minutes.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you want to talk about Ja Rule. I mean, Ja Morant is your favorite GPP play of the day. And I think the big point here is I don't expect him to get a lot of love today.
I don't expect him to get a ton of love either. And he's, just like you love Giannis, and I'm starting to really love Giannis too. I love Morant in this spot. Year 2 for a guy that was already amazing as a rookie. We saw last year at the beginning of the year and in preseason a little bit, they were not trying to play him 25 minutes, even at the beginning of the regular season. Obviously, he's going to be unleashed this year. No one plays massive minutes in the preseason, but I expect him to get his full run. Whatever that means is whatever it means. We have no idea. But I expect Morant to take a huge leap in year 2. Again, just like I said about Giannis, no better way to start, than tonight in getting back on your feet after last year. No better way for Morant to start and campaigning to be an all-star than to start off here I love him. No Jaren Jackson Jr. He's just a DFS dream. He has the ball in his hands a lot, and he also does a lot of things. I like him a ton here.
Also, Minnesota is not a defensive team in the slightest, so I can't imagine their preseason defense is going to be something that scares you.
No, it does not.
All right, so our favorite mutual play of the day is going to be Darius Garland of your Cleveland Cavaliers. As we were doing the members-only video, the news of Colin Sexton being out came, and then later in the day, we found out that Porter's not around tonight, so this is really just his show right now.
Yeah, man, I like Garland. I think his game is good. We talked about how he tore his ACL a couple years ago. I think that Garland's in for a big year, a guy that's primed to take a big leap forward this year. Cavs picked him in the top 5 last year. He's got a good offensive game. It is his time to shine. And man, when we made our members only video, like Colin Sexton was one of my favorite plays on the slate. Well, such is life in NBA, especially NBA preseason. You got to pivot off. And I was already thinking about Garland. And man, I don't know lineups I'm making tonight. He'd probably be in all of them. Obviously, I'm not a 150 max guy, but if I make 3 to 5, he'll be in all of them.
Next up, I'm going to talk about my long shot of the day, and that is another Milwaukee Buck. I figured it doesn't hurt for me to talk about my team, try to, get a feeling of what my guys are going to do this year. So I think this is another guy that I just don't expect him to get a ton of. There's a ton of cheap guys to choose from. So I just assume he's one of these dudes that will kind of go a little bit under the radar. I think Portis could be a big part, might be a stretch, but a decent part of the Milwaukee Bucks this year. There's no Robin Lopez. There's no Ersan Ilyasova. There's no DJ Wilson. He, to me, is the stretch 4 or 5 that can spell Brook Lopez from time to time. He's a very capable three-point shooter. I think he fits in really nicely with the Milwaukee Bucks. And again, this is another guy. I just don't expect him to be owned on a bunch of teams as far as tonight goes. I think he'll spend a little time with the first team. I think he'll run with the backups a little bit. I figure he's going to play 20, 25 minutes today, maybe my guess estimation, very similar to some of the starters. And I think this is a spot where he's really going to help Milwaukee this year. And I think there's a lot of potential right here. And I'm hoping it starts tonight. And I think you get him at very low ownership.
Yeah, man. I like him coming off going in that second unit where he can command the ball more, be more aggressive. Because he's not going to be getting looks over Giannis. So the more he spends in that second unit, the more I like him.
Yeah, he's going to be stretching the floor. Giannis gets it to the rim. And then he gets to shoot some three-pointers. He's very capable of blocking some shots and getting some steals. He's an apt rebounder. Give me half the time with the starting unit. Give me half the time with the backups. We've seen Bobby Portis. We've seen him put up monster DFS points before. We all know, and I know you have a problem with chalk Portis nights. This is not a chalk Portis night. This is one of those nights where you get him at lower ownership, and he has big DFS upside on the right day, of course.
Yeah, I love the call.
All right, next up, the man with 2 first names or 2 last names, however you want to look at it, Bol of the Denver Nuggets. And this would be your long shot of the day.
Yeah, it is. So we've seen it, whether it be in scrimmages or, games in the bubble that really mean nothing. When given minutes, this guy can go off. You've heard rumblings within the Denver organization. You see tweets about it. If he gets good run tonight, he's got big upside at 4K. He's got a game built for DFS. He's big. He rebounds. He can block shots. He can also hit threes. If he plays, and again, it's a big if because we don't know, 15 minutes tonight, I think he could crush value at his 4K price tag. He's eligible at both small forward and power forward. Small forward happens to be pretty weak here, so he works in that regard. He is, and again, there's a lot of good cheap plays on the slate, but as far as upside goes, he's my favorite one. You want to chime in at all?
I think for me, the 2 big ones are the last ones. Small forward eligible at a position that I just don't like very much. We went through small forward for a while on the longer video. There wasn't anybody that really jumped off the screen to me that I loved. So if you're going to punt somewhere, why not punt at a position you don't like very much? Also, if you go and look at the past seasons, Denver doesn't play their studs a lot. I think Jamal Murray led the way last year with a number of minutes per game lower than most of what other teams plays their stars. Jokic was actually under 20 minutes per game, which is very, very low. It doesn't mean that's what happens today, but it does give me a better feeling that I like some of the backup guys. I mean, maybe if you were thinking he might play 12 for Phoenix, he could play 16 for a team like Denver.
Yeah, and taking that even a step farther, no Jeremy Grant. He's gone to Detroit. Will Barton's out. The only guy
Plumlee's gone.
Yeah, Plumlee's gone. The only guy they signed is JaMychal Green. So they lost, 2 guys. They picked up JaMychal Green. They still don't have Will Barton. I think he gets good run today. And if he has a good game here, I imagine he'll be chalk, supreme the next preseason game he's on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to a bunch of other shows, so I don't know if they're talking about him, but I would assume not.
Yeah, a lot of there isn't like too much NBA coverage. There's more than there's been in past years, but a lot of the shows and stuff aren't happening until before lock.
Yeah, I think people are. There's more coverage this year because I mean the same reason we're doing it. We're bored, right? Like we haven't been able to talk sports enough lately. So NBA preseason ain't the regular season or the postseason, but hey, I'll take anything I can get at this point.
Amen.
So that's what we got for today, guys. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. We'll be back to talk football with y'all tomorrow. We will not be covering NBA tomorrow because it's a football day. Football Sundays and regular seasons still take precedence.
I have to imagine the contest sizes for NBA preseason are going to be very small tomorrow.
But we'll be back on Monday. We'll cover the showdown for football, and then we'll do NBA. We'll do NBA every day but Sundays. And then once football's over, see you on Sunday.
Well, yeah, for NBA. It was like a weird way to say it, but yeah, I got you.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys.